Morgan Lutton,
I'm Lila.
and we're going to talk today about how NUMMI affected Toyota and GM in different ways. So basically, NUMMI stands for United Motor Manufacturing Incorporated, and they are a car manufacturing system that comes from Japan, and how they made their cars and the process that they used and just how they train their employees and how they went about their day-to-day operations. NUMMI impacted Toyota and GM greatly. Toyota already was using NUMMI before it came to America, so they were kind of already experienced, and they kind of brought NUMMI to America, if that makes sense. And GM kind of was learning from Toyota how to use NUMMI and make better cars, because at the time GM's cars were basically at the bottom line of all the brands in America. And some problems that were occurring in GM's plant before NUMMI came along was some problems that NUMMI would have brought to GM's plant, which is why it took so long for GM to adapt to NUMMI, was that employees will lose their seniority, which was a problem because some people might have been there for however many years, like saving up time so they could finally get this position that they wanted. But then if NUMMI came in, it wasn't like that. It wasn't seniority, so they would lose that, which frustrated a lot of longtime employees. With a more effective plant, there's less need for the majority of the employees that are working there. So it's almost like if they adapted this new system, that they would be losing their jobs because they wouldn't be needed, because it would just be more efficient for them and they wouldn't need all the people there, which kind of caused the union to fall apart, which is another problem because it pinned workers against each other, looking for each other's flaws and pointing them out because they all wanted to keep their jobs versus losing them. And by the time that happened, it all just was falling apart, because without a good workforce, your company just is falling apart. And then once GM finally did imply NUMMI to their factory in their cars, nobody wanted to buy their cars, because after all this time, they just proved over and over again that they had low quality cars and they were cheap, and nobody really trusted them to buy cars from anymore. And then some background information: the GM quality of their automobiles, like I was just talking about, they were low quality, not very reliable, cheap. Just they wanted to make them fast they wanted quantity over quality, basically, is what was happening. And then the same plant that Toyota and GM end up sharing in, I think it's 1980, that plant got shut down. It was GM's plant and it got shut down because it was the worst productive plant out of all of the GM plants in America. So it got shut down, only to later be reopened by Toyota and GM together. And they shared the same plant, which might seem weird to some people, like why would two competing companies want to share the same branch with each other? GM it wanted to learn from Toyota, learn how they made their cars, and kind of try to adapt to the NUMMI system. And they were looking just to learn, basically, from Toyota and how they did everything, because Toyota was so successful. And Toyota was this was their first plant in America, so they were just kind of looking for how, the American market, the American employees, how this switch over to a whole other country is going to affect their product and their company, basically. So they were both testing the waters.
So in our evaluation, we determined that NUMMI had facilitated a new age business system which prioritized workers at every level and gave them opportunities to make a difference at the forefront of the company. This began with hiring quality workers that fit with the company. They created a new hiring and training process that focused on their problem-solving abilities and their ability to work well in teams. NUMMI aspired to set new benchmarks for productivity, quality, and efficiency in the automotive industry, which was made possible by embracing the mindset of teamwork and problem solving. We found that NUMMI had so much success manufacturing cars because of Toyota's production system, which prioritized lean manufacturing principles such as minimizing waste, optimizing efficiency, and empowering employees to contribute ideas of improvement. By adopting Toyota's approach at NUMMI, the joint venture was able to overcome and achieve higher levels of productivity and quality. It was a combination of the right methodology, culture, and collaboration that made NUMMI successful in producing cars effectively. Good. Some possible solutions. NUMMI put teams in place to help with productivity and developing a positive and trustworthy environment. Teammates were empowered to share ideas for improvement, which helped improve morale significantly. GM struggled to build an environment that could work as a team. NUMMI built an environment of pride and unity, which showed on the production line and in total sales. It was noted that 90% of NUMMI workers reported that they felt proud of what they had built, and over 50% of NUMMI's workforce came from a minority group. Management identified 3 principles that they believed were key to their success, one being that both management and the union realized that their futures were independent and required a commitment to the vision. Employees needed to feel that they were treated fairly before they could become contributors, and the production systems required great interdependence, which mandated teamwork, trust, and mutual respect to operate. Good. Some recommendations to continue the success of NUMMI. We recommended continuing the development of clear communication and a level playing field amongst all levels of management and staff at NUMMI. We also believe organization has been a huge driving factor of success. The positive culture they have developed was made possible by organizing teams and organizing new plans for the work line, including rotating through jobs to prevent fatigue. Continuous collaboration would be one of our greatest recommendations as well in this area because it's been proven to be successful already. NUMMI has made it a priority to diversify the workforce, which has been a positive and valuable change. Continuing to diversify employees will give staff an opportunity to learn and benefit from different cultures and backgrounds while also diversifying revenue streams. And then finally, SWOT analysis is our last recommendation. It allowed NUMMI to identify potential opportunities in the market and increase competition. It also helped them formulate strategies and build a solid foundation.
And then in conclusion, NUMMI basically affected Toyota and GM for the better, improving their quality of their cars and just getting them out there on the market. People wanted to buy them. They were just nicer. They were nicer vehicles. And it really helped GM more than Toyota, just because Toyota already kind of came in there with NUMMI. But overall, it had a super huge impact on their supply chain and how many people wanted to buy their cars. And then from this case, I just feel like we learned a lot about teamwork and just how like the workforce and like how your employees feel and work together can totally change like the effectiveness of your whole entire company or business or whatever you're running. And yeah, that's it.